Okay, we're back, and this is dry enough for us to start putting some of the other bits on. So, yes, I was originally going to put this in this way, but I think it's going to look better that way, worming down. So we're going to use this to send that back through that way. It's going to force its way in that side. I think I'm going to somehow need to also put some glue under there. We'll see. And out this side. So let's try sending it through. And then out. Something like that. Yeah, that can work. So I think what we should do is, it would be best to do this, because that's not going to go anywhere, so that doesn't really need glue in it. Maggots, however, this is going to be a different kettle of fish. We're going to have to start gluing them in individually. Let's just start doing it. We can't put too much thought into it. A few in at a time. I think we might have to do it a few at a time, then let it dry, and then a few more, let it dry. Fill in the gaps. This might be a bit of a slow process as well, so we're going to have to build it up and up and up. Out and out and out. Let's see if we're lucky enough to squish this one in between those two. Just put a few more in and then we'll let them dry. Relax, girls. Good girls. Maybe a bit more in this one. Crawling over one another, trying to wiggle out. So, I'll poke a few more. Try and get that one in there because that looks like a nice place for that one. Pick out a couple of little ones that can be wiggling off the face. You could always have a couple coming out here. This one needs to go on the back, so otherwise it's quite a fat one. And then squidge him in the back. Front. So keep him there for a second. Curl up a bit. So we can do that. This little guy clambering over the top. Behind, but over the top. like that how it is. I'm going to have a couple of these wiggling their way across the face, down the face, out the mouth, have it whatever you like. Side. You might have wiggling out there or down here. It makes sense having some come out the bottom here. Heading their way back in somewhere else. Second. Gravity's going to take effect. It should be light enough to hold itself right there. I'm going to have a couple of these squirming off. Like here. Yeah, let's do it. She's looking right affected now, isn't she? We'll have some more poking out the mouth. Should be able to squeeze you in there. So we've got some coming up as well as up and out and down, so they'll go any which way they want. Looking good. Do we save these for up there? Can do. Let's do it. Maybe another guy coming down here to have a play. Try and get that one right on the very edge there. Maybe this one's got a bit of curve to it. Let's try and get that one in there. Just hold that there for a moment, hopefully. to hold itself. Yep, that shouldn't go anywhere. No. Down here somewhere. One more. Do I give you a friend up here? Yeah. I'll give you a friend up there. Right about there. Okay, I think what we'll do, I did want to, that's still quite soft, but we could get away with gluing that in now, but I don't want to move any of the maggots till they're fully dry. And since I'm going to need to manhandle a bit while I jam that up in there, we'll let that dry. We'll call this another pause. I don't need that right now, so let me just put that back over there. Pop you over there to dry. Yep, we'll give that a pause there. Leave this for a little bit so that whole face area can dry properly, because I don't want to lose the position of any of these maggots. So I'm loving them where they are right now. They're just spewing out. So yeah, I did want to get that up there too, and I did want to mucky up the hair a bit, but I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna just be patient, let this dry. Perhaps we'll be good in a couple hours, we'll see. But we'll let that dry before we do anything else, and then when we come back we'll glue. We'll try and get the spine piece glued in and muck the hair up a bit. That's what we're going to try and do. But it might be a case of just putting the spine in and then letting that sit again, and then mucking the hair up when we can move her around a bit more freely. So we'll call that another pause. Let it dry. Another bit of a drying pause. Another bit of drying time, which is good. So I'll make a cup of tea, because my hands are so cold today. I have I think it's Raynaud's phenomena. It's poor circulation. So usually it's your fingers and your toes that go first. Pretty much always my fingers, because at least there's always socks and 9 times out of 10 shoes on my feet. There's nothing on my hands. So they do feel it very easily, and they start to go pale and then they go numb. Sometimes they go numb before they've gone pale, like these are starting to that one's not too bad at the moment. That one, these two are not too bad, and the thumbs are not too bad, but middle finger, ring finger and pinky, they're all starting to struggle. So a good cup of tea is going to warm them up a treat, and it'll taste nice. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a cup of tea, give this a few hours to dry, and see you again in a second. Right, we are back. Everything's in order. I had to make sure, and the creaky chair is of course in order, but then I guess since it's Halloween, having things creak would add to the overall spookiness. So our maggots, and well, we didn't glue the worm, but we didn't need to, the maggots are all firmly in place. They ain't gonna fall off. So we are gonna mucky her hair up, and I was thinking we might even marker or paint in a lower lip here, but only a, an old withered, nothing too big and bold, and we'll get this glued in place. Then once that's all dry, it will be goring her up. So let's whip out this palette, because we're gonna, well, this plate slash palette, we're gonna use up whatever we can on there, and that can go for wash. So that will officially served its purpose for this project. So we want a sort of, just a bit of a grey really, which we might be able to do with everything that's on there. Just depends how much of it we need. So let's just drag it all in the middle. We might want it a bit, well, she's already brown, so let's just see what happens. So I'm going to get messy hands one way or another this time, which doesn't bother me. We're just going to try, yeah, just rubbing it in. The hair's just far too clean right now. Basically clean our fingers on our hair. Let's whip up a little bit more grey. I think we've got enough black there to work with. We'll not wash that for the time being because we're probably going to use it again. I'll try my best not to mucky up the maggots. I just want her hair mucked up. I'll try as well not to muck up her face. And as you can see, we're not being wholly fussed about getting it to all piece just here or piece just there. This is where the more random and sporadic application works in your favour. Dirt doesn't just gravitate to one particular point. Get a tiny bit more black in there. Make sure I'm not slipping out. As I keep creeping down here, she's going to be creeping off. It doesn't matter that we're mucking up the table. It's easily cleaned. Add a bit more black, make it a bit darker in points. Now she's starting to look a bit crusty. That's what we wanted. A bit more of a crusty feel to her and look to her. Fresh. I think it's pretty good. Edge here. We might even tatter up that edge a bit, we'll see. Okay, we might mucky that up a little bit more. It still looks like quite a neat plait she's got there. I'm going to stress it out a little bit. Tiny bit more black in the mix. We want to try and avoid leaving any blobs so it doesn't look like we just painted her hair up. I'm going to rub those blobs in if any appear along the way. All looking so fresh now. Fluff or a blob? Stress this plan a bit. Keep that as it is. See if we're safe to touch that white. Let's touch the top and see what happens. Okay, we're safe enough to touch that. So let's clean that up. Oh yes. Let's try marking in. Detail. So it's not going to be perfect lips, just a little, you won't even see them up there. Crusty it up a little bit in certain points. Give a bit more definition. Stress her out a bit. It's almost like adding shriveled aspect. Anywhere where it's too pale, and this is going to look too blue. There we go. A bit more subtle. This one will be a bit more subtle. Let's pick a little piece up here to see. Yes. Starting to look a bit more shriveled now. We definitely have a bit more shriveling on the neck, where the neck's about to appear. I think that will do the trick. It's only a subtle addition, but it does add something rather nice. Right, I'll pop that over there because that's going to go and get washed up in a moment. And let's look at getting this positioned in there. So we want to be able to see it a little bit. So I think right there is good. So we're going to be nice and liberal with the glue. Top there. So we can grip to as much as possible. So it won't fall out. It's only going to be glued to the stuffing, but it won't fall out. So that's gripping on itself. Maybe a little bit more up here. And let's position that in there, like that, with a gentle squish all around. Right, that's where she is at the moment. She's got her little top of the spinal cord there, spinal column, vertebrae showing. There's the thread. We'll remove that in a little bit. Actually, that could add to the whole gore aspect. So yeah, we're going to let her dry again, because at the moment anything she touches is going to be mucked up like the rest of her. And then when we come back, bloody her up. That is going to be fun. Well, before I stop recording for a moment, make sure my fingers are clean enough to touch this. If you have seen the Halloween origami video, you'll already be acquainted with this guy. If you haven't, let's get acquainted. This is Scary Tomato. I think he should have a running appearance in the Halloween themed videos, because he is not long for this world. But he is a scary tomato. It's at least 2, maybe 4, all trying to erupt from one spot. And the bottom is most scary. And it's already starting to suffer a touch. I mean, it was already suffering more than a touch. As you can see, it's got to split up its bum. But it's definitely suffering being brought in. So I only took this off officially the other day. The big guy at the bottom had started to ripen before the top. So I kept giving him a chance, giving him a chance, giving him a chance. It got to the point where it's all, well, not super squishy, but you can see where it's starting to ripple here. It's definitely well beyond ripe. The top is still firm, so the top is probably edible, but we're not going to eat this. If you can see half of what I can see, you'll know why we're not going to eat this. But I thought the other day, what better time for him to be part of something than the Halloween theme. Since he is a scary tomato, I do feel sorry for him. He never wished for this, but that's why he's getting to be part of something now. And we will probably, throughout the course of October, depending on how long he is with us for, try and do something with him. Either paint a face on him, carve a face into him. I had an idea in the origami to try and potentially make him a bit of a pumpkin, you know, if I could hollow him out enough at the top here while it's firm enough. Carve a little face on there, pop a little light in around the back somewhere. He could be cool like that. But I've never tried to hollow out a tomato to put a light in before. I don't think it's got quite the same hold that a pumpkin does, by any measure. But it still might be fun to try, because it would be a shame to just have him die a death on the side. Perhaps not so slowly, but definitely surely. So yes, we'll have to have a think about what we can do with him to give him one last lease of life before his time is up. It would be interesting to see if he lasts the month of October, even if he is not so wholesome at that point. It would be cool to see his progression. I think if he does live till the end of October, he's going to be beyond scary, Tomato, at that point. Beyond scary. So perhaps it'll be worth it just to see that alone, what he's going to look like after a month's time. Pretty much a full month's time of just being left to his own devices. I don't think, looking at what's going on in there, this is only one day later, I don't think he's going to make the whole month. So we'll have to think of something soon for him to be, or to be involved in, or become, before he meets his demise. But yes, I did want to share that with you. For no reason other than I think, like I say, each Halloween video I do this October, perhaps he should have a little guest appearance, see where he's at, see if he's died anymore, or if we're going to actually do anything, if he becomes the star of his own show. He could do. I have to find something suitable for him to live on, because I don't want to keep... Well, he's living in the kitchen at the moment. For obvious reasons, I don't want him anywhere where I'm prepping food, so he'll have to live up this corner with me somewhere, the designated art corner. Perhaps he could go over here somewhere, peeking in, observing, overlooking. We go up there, but then there's a few things up there that if he does start to just spill out of his bottom, he might mess everything up. So we'll see what we can do with him. And of course, if you have any suggestions in the meantime, do pop them down in the comments, because that would be cool to see, to hear, to read. Art can be one of those things, well, it is one of those things where the more you talk about it, the more ideas become better than what they were to begin with. You don't even have to be creative to have ideas or suggestions. You just have someone to bounce off sometimes. They'll make you think of something else that's even better, and then through chatting with them even further about your new idea, they might have another suggestion that just, like a running dialogue. But, so yes, Scary Tomato, featured in Severed Head of a Mermaid. So yes, for now, we will have a pause, let that dry, clean my hands. Starting to look a bit like a grave digger at the ends here. And yeah, when we come back, red and more red. We've definitely got to gore this up a lot, and we'll think about what we're going to do for up here. Maybe leave it hollow, maybe have something poking out, maybe just have more gore spilling out. So yes, that's it for now. See you again in but a second. I do think this is going to be whole one video. I don't think there's going to be parts to this. It's not a very long project, there's just lots of cuts in between as we're letting things dry. So yeah, see you in a moment.